Greetings. Just here along to the Deschutes River, Northern Oregon. I'm ready to set up camp. And I'm going to talk to you today about the Nemo Tensor sleeping pad. It's an ultralight pad, about 15 ounces according to the instructions. And it has a number of benefits that we like, besides being nice and tiny, packed up. Like many, it's a little finicky to get out of its case. It likes to be packed up just right. That's got a handy dandy little keeper strap to help you put it away. And it's nice and limp, just rolls right out. The nice thing about the Tensor is not only does it have an inflator sack, which we'll demonstrate momentarily, but also has some really cool technology, which you can almost sort of make out here, this outline. It's, I believe, what they call an aluminized plastic or something like that. It's basically a space blanket, mylar space blanket. And what it does when you lie down on it is it reflects your body heat back onto you. You can almost just sort of see it in there, some of that shiny material. And it makes it so when you lay down on it, you almost immediately start feeling warm wherever you're touching it. Like my hand is warming up immediately. I can feel the body heat from my hand being reflected back. Even not touching it, I can feel warmth reflecting back onto my hand. And we were in some mid-30s temperatures just the other day with this, and it was a very warm sleep. We were sweating at some points in the night, even though it was a very damp coastal environment. Not very much in the way of shivering that night, as opposed to, for example, we've used various things from Big Agnes and different companies, Thermarest, and we always wake up with cold, cold, cold. Air gets underneath it. Now it's a little interesting to put together. We've got these flat valves that are kind of nice. Sort of a one-way valve here. One for deflation and then one for sealing. And the deflation one is where we'll put our blow bag into. And it's a nice tight snap fit. And then what you do is you're going to blow into this. This is sort of like a dry bag, where it's got this nice seal. You roll it over, and then you just apply some pressure. And it's a little tricky one-handed. Please bear with us. Normally this would be a bit faster. There's one. And man, I'm so out of breath. Ha ha ha. Gosh, normally you'd be sitting here huffing and puffing, pursing your lips around a little tiny valve, trying to keep it plugged up with your lips or your tongue or something in between breaths, and becoming more and more lightheaded by the second, breath after breath after breath. And here, I'm just talking casually, not too much of a problem. And away we go. It's really nice. You can watch it start to inflate. Ooh, hey. Just lean on it. Just a little weight. And we're here in our minimalist one-person Eureka Spitfire. And not much room in here. It's about a good, maybe 70, 75 inches. And this is the Tensor Regular, as you can see, which means it's 20 inches wide by 72 inches long, and it's 3 inches thick. And I'll tell you, when it's fully inflated, my hip doesn't hit the ground. Not so with many other pads. You don't want that horrible feeling of your hip against the cold, hard ground, pushing against, even if you have a small pad like this here under it, which we often do, just to prevent from punctures coming up through the bottom of the tent or the tarp. You don't need that with the Tensor. You don't have to worry about it. So our minimalist kit might have just gotten even more minimal. We may leave that foam pad at home, because I'll tell you, even with a lot of gear on and a good down bag, our Big Agnes sleeping pad did not keep us very warm. And that's pretty much it right there. And then you just kind of pop this apart. I may have to set the phone down to do it. Just one moment. Sorry about that. And we're pretty much there. And this is the only point at which you might want to grab the valve and touch it up just a little bit. And 2 little breaths in. That is tight as a drum. And then all you're going to do is pop the seal cap on. Oops. It's new, so it's very slippery. And that's the story. One Nemo Tensor. And it just fits inside the tent, which we absolutely love. And the best thing of all, oh goodness, is it's comfortable, hip off the ground. And as you'll remember us saying, it's already feeling warm. And yeah, it's about 35, maybe 34 degrees out here today. And everything that's touching this pad right now is warm already, like that quickly. Absolutely wonderful. Every time we've used it, it's never had a problem with losing air or anything like that. Just got our first dirt on it. It's officially broken in. Well, and that's about as quick a look as we can give you. The only thing I would say is the repair kit could be a little bit better. It just is a super minimal trail repair kit, just for little tiny punctures. If you have something big, you're not going to have a pad anymore. But this is pretty strong stuff. I'm not going to worry too much about it. And that is our look at the Nemo Tensor. And we thank you so much for joining us along to the Deschutes River to take a look at it.